Tonight, former President Trump's legal team is gearing up to present its defense in his impeachment trial. This afternoon, House managers wrapped up their final arguments. Trump is accused of inciting the deadly assault on the Capitol, which lawmakers have relived over the past 2 days. In their final remarks today, House managers used clips of the rioters in their own words.
I thought I was following my president. I thought I was following what we were called to do.
Some Republican senators argue the language of the former president does not meet the legal standard for incitement.
With that, we bring in CBS 13 political analyst Gary Dietrich. Gary, good to see you. Now, earlier in the week, we had Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell telling fellow Republicans to vote with their hearts. Does that mean the impeachment vote is going to be a whole lot closer than we might think?
Yeah, that's a great question, Tony. And I really think that McConnell has basically turned his caucus loose, said we don't need to vote en masse. But right now, we really don't anticipate. There might be a couple more folks that come over to the side, that is Republicans, but still that elusive 17 votes from Republicans to actually convict the president seems to most observers a long, long way off.
So, Gary, even if Trump is not impeached, what do you think this does to his legacy, and how does it impact another potential run in 2024?
Well, I mean, there's an awful lot of people trying to discern that right now. There's a lot of polling taking place about Trump's current approval rating. We still support him in 2024. That's dipped a little bit in the last month since January 6th at the Capitol. But we're so far away from 2024 right now that I don't think anybody can make any real definitive long-range predictions. There certainly are Trump supporters who are absolutely convinced that he should return to the campaign trail in 2024. But again, that is so far away. I would guess in 6 months from now, I'll have a much better idea.
Gary, let's talk about what happened to Sacramento Mayor Darrell Steinberg at his house this past weekend. His house vandalized by protesters. They threw rocks, stole security cameras, destroyed lighting fixtures at his home. Is the national rage against politicians filtering down to the local level, making protesters maybe think that it's okay to lash out in a violent way?
Well, Tony, you know, we have seen so much social unrest and, frankly, so much violence around the country in all forms, as you know, all over the country. But this seeming trend towards actually physically attacking or going after elected officials, certainly at the Capitol on January 6th, but now here, right in the Sacramento region, is deeply concerning to many people. And it also raises questions for those who might consider running for office. And I think that's one of the biggest concerns of all. Would this kind of action dissuade people from taking on that important role of representing their fellow citizens in any kind of elected body? And that's something we certainly don't want to see.
Yeah, who'd want to jump into that fray right now? All right, Gary, as always, thanks for your time.